Hey geeks, welcome back to the series of videos on the topic all about JWT. Here we are learning what is JWT and how we can implement using backend and frontend. So in backend we are using Node and frontend we are using React. So far we have understood the introduction about JWT, what is JWT, how we're going to implement it. This all concept we have already understood in this first article here, and if you've not went through this, please go through that. It's highly recommended. Second, after that we learn about that how to create the node server to support this JWT concept, and we are already done with that as well. Now this one is very interesting. Right now we're going to learn the third part of the article of all about JWT is how to connect the node server we have already built with the React application, so that we will have a complete knowledge from backend to the front end all about JWT. So this is going to be very interesting because this is UI and I love that, especially when it is built in React. So this is the UI. This image is explaining about this UI, what we are going to build. It will have a basic dashboard, and then it will have top hackers, which is a secure page. You can access the dashboard, and you can cannot access the top hackers if you are not logged in. So we have the login. So we will go through that. But first, I will highly recommend that if you have, I will highly recommend if you have not already went through the first part and second part of the article, please go through that and come back and we'll learn together this third part of the UI. Okay. Now this one, let's try to understand from by cloning this repo. The way we are learning this JWT concept is like we have already a code in the GitHub on GitHub repositories. We are cloning that repo, we are running it in our local system, and then we are understanding each part of the code which is mostly related to JWT, and we are ignoring those stuffs in the website which are not part of the requirement of understanding JWT. But at this all repo, the node server or the React application, both are very basic, I would say, but near to prod. Why I'm saying near to prod? Because it's missing some of the grooming to make it production level code, but it's, I would say, near to prod code, because lot of stuffs are organized, well organized, I would say, and in the code, and that you can groom it and use for production for sure. All right, so without delaying more, what we can do is let's start to understand. So this is I've already explained. This image is just UI which we are going to build. Hold on, we will understand and go through that. But how this UI will be running in our local system, for that we need to clone that repo, right? So what we the link will be provided here in this article as well. This article is still not published, but don't worry, when it's published everything will be fine. Now this is my GitHub repository. You can check this out. I've not opened all of the repository to public because it was not required to make it public. So that's where now you will have this link in this UI only, in this article only, and then you can clone that repo from here. So you will be redirected to all the, I will also provide the link of this GitHub repository in the description of this YouTube video. And this one is I will also provide that JWT link here in the this repository UI in the article as well. So don't worry about that, for sure you will get that. So when you reach to this page where we are trying to understand JWT UI, here you can first clone it. So to clone this, what you can do is first let me just show you guys that where we were. This is the folder we are working with. Now here, if I just open this any terminal, let's say we are going to open a terminal here, and then what we are going to do is here we are going to clone it. Make sure you have Git installed in your system. So you need to clone the repo, the UI repo. So git clone, and you need the URL to clone it, right? So you go to this GitHub repository which is JWT UI, then go to click on this code and just copy this URL, and then you will simply run the command git clone and paste the URL, and it should clone that here. Right now it's cloning. So what we can do, oh, it's done, cool. So let's jump to that directory. So it's JWT UI, and then let's open our VS Code here. And once you open the VS Code, you will be redirected to this source code. And let's open the terminal here. I will make it bigger for you guys so that you will be able to view it properly. Awesome. Now what we are going to do is I'm making it bigger for you guys, so I hope this will look proper now. So what we are going to do right now is run this repo, but we have cloned this. How we are going to run this? It should have some instruction for sure, right? So let's read that instruction first. So this is the instruction. So I mean, the way you can read it better is if you are using VS Code, you simply click on this. Let me just clone this for close this. So when you click on this README file in VS Code, we have some feature called this open preview. When you click on that, you will see that. I'm not sure if it is required. It will be enabled in your VS Code using any extension, but if it is not already available, look for extension so that you will have this feature so that you can read it. You can read this one as well, not sure, but this looks more user friendly, this to read the instruction. Okay, now we will simply follow this instruction and then we will be running it. Alright, so what's saying that first make sure that your node server is running at port 4000. Now 4000 port is not mandatory, but we are making it so that it is easy to explain. You will go ahead and change it whatever you want, but make sure that your server and UI is following the same, because in server as well we are also giving the UI port, and in UI we are using this 4000 port so that we can connect the server from the UI. So make sure that is happening. So we'll follow that our server is running at 4000, our UI is running at 3002. That's the way we are going to understand it, so that tutorial will be easier and we will be understanding it very cool way. I don't know why I said this cool way, but yeah, it looks cool. It felt cool to say this, so I just said this. Awesome. So make sure this is running. So let's make sure that whether our this is running or not. So if you see, this is our JWT register login node. If you have not already followed that tutorial or the article, I would say follow the tutorial, because in tutorial I have explained all the database related stuff, with how to create the database and connect to the node server and build this node server and how to run that. Please follow that and come back. Now make sure this is running. So right now, if you see, this is running, this code is running, our JWT register login code is running at 4000 port. So this port is active, so it means that our database, our node server is running perfectly at the port 4000. So we are done with our first part, first instruction given in the README file of the JWT UI. So this is sure. If you have not done that, you click this link and clone it and run that using the README file given in the server code. Okay. Now come back after that and then you clone this. We are already done with cloning part, so we are good at that. Now run this command using hold on, what I just clicked. Okay, I should have clicked that. Awesome. Clone this repo, done. Run this command using terminal the repo root directory. So we are already inside the root directory. What we are going to do is we are simply going to install the packages. So just run the npmi command and it will install all the packages present in this package.json file. We'll go through each of this code later on, but let's try to first run the UI, and then we will shift to running, understanding each piece of code in this source repo. Alright, so this looks like installation is done. The next command is npm start. So run this command to start this React application. So you simply put this command in your terminal, npm start, and for sure it should start running. Let me just what you can do while it is starting, it should not take that much time, but what I'm going to do after this starting the server is just go to our server from here. You just paste this URL in localhost. Since our React application is running at 2000 port, so why it is running at 2000 port? It's a good question. If you see the start script, I have just given the port 3002 to make understanding easier that this will be connected with the server and will not have any course related stuffs going on, because we are using credential and that requires some precautions. If you have went through the node server uh, tutorial where I've explained why this requires, not this one expectedly, but some other stuffs I have also explained. Now you see this is our React application loaded, right? So you are good with the UI in your system and you are running it in your local, but you are yet to explore that how the JWT will be working. Okay, so if you go to this top hackers, it will load this UI where you can simply log in. Let's try to give this if it is present in database or not, but let's see. Oops, yeah, this got logged in, and when you click this after login top hackers, it will redirect to this page. Right now in database 3 of them are already present, meaning that test 1, test 2 and another name 3. I don't know why I gave 3, but yeah, this is already existing in database. That's why you are able to see that. But in your case you won't be able to see any one of them, so you need to first register, right? So let me just try to log out. So in your case what you will do, that you will reach out to this when you click on this top hackers page, you will be redirected to this login page. Here you just click register here, and then you give something like, let's say test 4, or you can give test 1 in your case, test 4, and I'm just giving test 4 here for our understanding, and then we will simply click on register. When you do register, it will register this this username and password, and then you can use that credential to log in, because when you start this you may not have the database with any user data for sure. You may have, while testing the node server, we tested it, right? If you went through that tutorial, you may have created some of them using the postman we explained in the previous videos, right? So test 4 we just created. Let's try that if it is allowing me to log in or not. It's allowing me to log in. Yep. Now if you go to top hackers, you will be able to see this. Yeah, see this test 4 we just created, and it is existing in this database where we created this one, right? Now the way next step we will be understanding is that cloning is done, and what we're going to understand is like front-end implementation using React. So what's the concept before coding we should have in our mind? I know the code is already there, but the concept on which this code is built, let's try to understand that first, right? Okay, before going ahead, let's try to understand what is prerequisite for this. So I think I've already explained what is prerequisite to this. Like, you must be aware of what is how to use React, React library to build any front end. Some basic stuff, some hooks and all, you should be aware on that. Otherwise you won't be able to understand the React application. But basic understanding with connection of how you connect your React application with node server or any backend should suffice the need here. Now there is one time saving tips I would like to give you guys. If you are a very experienced developer, then you may not be interested whatever I'm just trying to explain, but if you are not, then please be with me. If you are experienced developer, then you can simply jump to this section of the code where I have explained that the actual requirement of this JWT and what's the exact important code written to explain what is JWT and how you implement JWT concept inside React application. If you want to understand that part, you are here only to understand that thing, then I would suggest to just click this you will be redirected to the article section where we have explained the MyAxios, where I have created some interceptor. Use the Axios interceptor to create MyAxios instance, where this will be easier for you to just grab the concept that how JWT is used to make it working in front-end React application. So this one is for you guys if you want to save the time. But if you want to understand end-to-end thing, then please be with me and let's move ahead. So we are done with time-saving tips. So we are good here. Now table constraints, you can read it out. There are a lot of stuff I've written here so that to make sure that what you're going to learn it, and you will have the idea before going to this whole article, right? You said you can, I mean, you may not have so much time to learn this at one go, so you can decide to go one by one on maybe some section. Let's say today 2 or 3 sections, and then later on other sections. So go ahead and do that as you wish. Now let's try to understand that what we are going to build in the UI, so that we will have the idea what this UI code or source code is look like. So concept summary is defining that. So basically we are going to implement 4 UI pages: registration pages, login page, dashboard, and top hackers list, and one navigation bar which will have the logout button to log out the user. And if what we are going to do is already explained here, is like user will register, that's the registration part. User will log in, that's the login part. And once the user is logging successfully, JWT access token will be received to you in a React application. You will use that to store in local storage of browser. That's what we are going to do in the front-end application. And then the access token, you stored it, and then when, let's say, this access token expired, you will have in the UI we will capture that error that access token got expired, and after that we will send a refresh request to the server that we are going to learn in this UI tutorial. And then after handling that, we will get an access token, and then we will not let user know that something broken or some error went in behind the scene. User will not feel anything, will not know anything. So refresh token will save us from that. Once that is done, there is another case which may be happening, which is like the refresh token which is got stored in the when login is attempted, your access token got stored in local storage, and your refresh token got stored in cookie, your browser cookie. Now when, let's say, this refresh token got sent to this server, this refresh token may also be expired, right? If that refresh token is expired is expired, or maybe it is invalid for some reason, then you won't be able to go further anyway. So we don't have any way to left. So we will log out the user from front-end application. So this is the all concept we are going to build in the UI. Now without delay, doing more delay, let's try to learn that in one by one step, one byte at a time, and that will be in the next video. So I will see you in the next video to understand what are the packages we have installed and all. So thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying and be with me, please. All right then, thank you, bye bye.